What up, YouTube? I am your host, Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews, back in here with one more video. Guys, listen. All right, I gotta give you this content here today. All right, this is a teachable moment. This is a lesson brought to our favorite person on planet Earth, Steve Harvey. Okay, Steve Harvey. All right, it's gonna be a teachable moment. I think, at least. Let's see. Should men pay on the first date? That's where the conversation started. Look where it's gonna end up, all right? Without further ado.
When do you think it's appropriate to start splitting the bill on dates?
I am more than happy to go Dutch. I believe in equality for all, so I like the yin and the yang of a guy paying sometimes, I'll pay sometimes. It kind of sets the tone for a relationship, and I got your back, you got my back. Having said that, if it is the first date,
Wait a minute.
Your back, you got my back. Having said
This is how Steve feeling right now. Oh, that's how Steve feeling right now. I don't like nothing that's coming out your mouth, lady. All right? I know where a woman belongs, and it is far above me. Far above what I am. 3 times divorced, Steve Harvey says. Far above. Put him on the top of Mount Rushmore, Mount Everest, every mountain ever created. Stack them on top of each other. And then that's where she is. How dare you say that? How dare you say there should be a yin and a yang? How dare you? How dare you? Now, she's not just talking about the first date. Because listen, I think you take a woman, if you ask someone to go out, pay for their shit. That's why I do coffee. I do coffee. I'll do drinks on happy hour. Pre-pandemic. I will, for sure, right? Until it's solidified in my mind that this is someone who's made it past the first or the second round interviews. All right, now we're going somewhere. All right, we on to the big leagues now. You understand what I'm saying? Then there can be, in my opinion, it could be an introduction of a yin and a yang, but I also think it has to be a consideration of what it is that y'all both do. Okay? Is it me, 35-year-old me, taking out a, recently graduated from undergrad, 22, 23, 24-year-old or something like that, who don't got a job yet? It's a different situation as if, a leader of a group at a company, right? So I think that it's different, and there's a lot of different factors that have to be considered. But Steve doesn't agree. Steve is looking at her like she's a piece of shh. Okay, let's move on.
and that if it is the first date, he better offer to pay or there will not be a second date.
What's interesting, she's also a middle-aged lady. So I didn't know this, but this actually makes sense. I guess his audience that he caters to on this talk show, at least, is more middle-aged women. So that's interesting. Let's take that information and keep going in.
I will say I love it as a gesture. I think it's really sweet and I appreciate it. But a lot of times I feel like, no, I want to go Dutch on the first date because we're both feeling each other out and I don't want someone to assume something.
Steve is about to reach across that chair, just about to give her a mediocre introduction to a video slap. Shut up, pedestal. Go up there. Go on your pedestal and let me pay for everything. Everything. Steve is pissed.
So I like going Dutch on a first date.
Well, now notice the women in here are cheering, and now mind you, like in all these studio audiences, usually you have like, like I forget exactly what they're called, but like the producers of the show will be like this, so you can start clapping. I don't know if you guys are familiar with being on sets like this. I've only been on one set like this. It was 106 and Park back in the day. Back in the day when it was Free and AJ, way back in the day, okay? All right, and I remember like they would tell us when to start doing like this. So So take that with a grain of salt as well. But this empowerment talk, I feel like is because I did a video not too long ago about empowerment of like how a woman should be empowered to utilize her body, how it is that she wants. And I think like when we talk about this empowering thing, it's like the scale switches depending upon what you're talking about, because a woman paying should also be an empowering thing. But it's like, but then people who or women who don't want to pay anything, it is they don't want to take that down the empowering pasture, so to speak. That's one that they don't want to be empowered with their wallets, apparently. Okay, it is what it is, though. All right. Of course, though, human beings are going to take pieces and parts of an equation, and only the parts that benefit them are they going to put in as a part of their identity. I mean, that's just we're humans. Okay.
I mean, I feel like it just depends on the delivery, right?
Yes.
Like if the check comes and he looks over at me like,
yeah.
then sir, you need to go ahead and put down on this, and I'm a go. Never to be seen again. But I think that needs to be discussed early on, right? Like how much of a date is this? Are you interested in courting me for real, or did you ask me out, or did I ask you out, or was this like a setup?
Now, what I'll say is that all three of these women were putting a degree of rationality in all of their arguments. They were putting in the rationality.
My friends, I feel like those things need to be discussed early on. Communication will eliminate any room for error in that situation.
Yeah.
Communicate.
Have we done this poor of a job with our young men?
Well, Steve, I don't want to see your ankles. Okay? I don't. Now, mind you, what he said is, do we do this poor of a job with our young men?
Yeah.
Have we?
Look, she said, oh, wait a minute. Oh, I didn't know you were going to go there, Steve. You're going to take all of the logic of the ladies that were just talking, eloquently speaking, with rationale, and we're just going to go completely feelings. Okay? We're going, wait, hold on. I got to see that one more time.
Our young men.
Yeah.
Have we not taught our younger men what this is really supposed to be about?
Tell us, Steve.
I'm sorry, the way it is supposed to work, and I can appreciate everything you all are saying because you're women. So quite naturally, you set the tone for how you are. But let me say this to men.
Sure. I'm listening.
It's the proper thing to do. It's the right thing to do.
Okay.
And it's the way it should be done.
Okay.
You got a lot of nerve. You know, dudes kill me because we got a lot of nerve thinking this thing is 50-50. Because I got news for you, it ain't.
Okay.
They happen to have a skill set that you'll never possess.
Sure.
They can produce another human life.
Okay.
Yeah, and I can also deadlift 300 pounds. You know, right? So like, we listen, Steve. Like, we all have our ish. Men and women, we are not equal at all. There's not one that's more superior than another as well. Let me also preface the superior police that try to come over here. Okay? We're different. All right? Our plumbing is goddamn different. Yes. But then also they create, right? Like, but there's no creation without us as well. There's things that a woman can bring that a man cannot, that women find easy, and it's a part of their being, and it's things that they want to do. But then men also bring things as well that may not be as easy for a woman, but a man do these things in a way that a man does, that has created nations, created infrastructure, created technology, right? Like, so, and it's not to say that women can't do that. It's just what we find in the way our society has developed is men have relied in a certain path. Women have relied in a certain path. Men get joy out of this path. Women get joy out of this path. Oh, and our plumbing is different, right? So like, to bring it there and to just simplify it to that point, to me, I think it doesn't go into the history of how we've come here. It doesn't at all. But let's just keep going. What else does he have to say?
Nothing you can do can come close to that. I'm ashamed of men who don't understand that.
In addition to that part of the conversation, it needs to be made clear to men that women don't owe you when you take us to dinner.
Yes.
Just because you buy me dinner, just because you paid the valet, doesn't mean I need to go home with you.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So that in that same conversation,
Here she goes with rationale. I agree. You know, just because you do X doesn't mean you should have no expectations of people. Just period. You should have no expectations. However, if you are 3, 4, 5 dates in, and you know you are communicating your intentions, and she's not there with you, well, you guys are in 2 different playing fields. So then don't go out with that person again. So, like, whether or not it's to get the viscosity or whether or not it's for a relationship, if the communication is and it's just not happening in a way to get both of whatever goals, then that's it. To just end that conversation.
that still needs to be said.
And I think that's why so many women still want to pay, because you don't want to be bought. You want to
Because you don't
show
want the
yourself
perception of the obligation.
Exactly.
Because now
I am not for sale.
Correct.
Yeah, because nowadays a lot of times in this situation, the women might be making more money.
Then he need to play in the playground he qualified to play. No, see, that's what you do. No. This is a real teaching moment for men. You were born to be a provider. You were born to put a woman on a pedestal and treat her like a queen. That's your job as a man. Now, if you don't want the job, go do something else. It's an honor to take a woman out.
Hey.
That is true. That is true.
This pissed me off right here.
Well, Steve, it pisses you off because you're pandering to women. You know, like, I mean, and that's just is what it is. And listen, here's the thing. You're going to go on a studio audience. You're going to hear information like this. You hear Steve Harvey, who's an influencer, say that pisses you off. And then we get into a space where you feel like there's an obligation for men to treat you a certain way, irrespective of the choices or the decisions that you've had in your life, the respect that you have for yourself, that it's an honor in some kind of way that he gets to take you out because you are perfect in every way just because you're a woman. Right? Like, and there's a lack of accountability, there's a lack of responsibility, and there's a lack of understanding that it's an interview. It's an interview, okay? But I agree to the extent of if you ask someone out, listen, if I'm like, you know, my friends are, if my homeboy, if we're all down there and I'm like, yo, bro, you know, let's go out, you know, drinks on me. I'll go out and then we'll go do drinks, right? You understand what I'm saying? Like, and the drinks will be on me because that's what it is that I said. That can happen in a friendship. And then next time he'll be like, yo, drinks on me, don't even worry about it, da-da-da-da-da. And that just is what it is. You understand what I'm saying? But if you don't know a human being from a hole in the wall, all right? You don't know him from a hole in the wall, okay? I agree to an extent that a dude, whatever, I'll do the coffee, I'll do the drinks, da-da-da. But then it is my decision what happens after that. This is not a everybody all of a sudden just because I'm trying to get to know you, I'm funding you. Like, right, every time that we go out, I'm funding you every single time. Like, and to say that, like, it is, we are born to be providers. Yeah, sure, I can go with you there. But then to say that it is our job to put you on a pedestal, it just completely negates the value that a man has at all. As if we're just thrown out there. We're working to provide, and we're just, if we can meet one of you to just put you up on a pedestal and pay for every single thing, right? Like, so do understand, because I hear the arguments already of you say that because you're low value. No, I just like to think strategically about who I enter into my life and what am I doing with my time.
I get sick. Matter of fact, ladies, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Look at all these men. I've been looking at this man right here with the lady next to the lady in the teal. Is that your husband? This dude been getting it. He been going, yeah, the whole time. That dude up there with the lady with the sash on, he been going, yeah. Because that man with the blue t-shirt on with the lady with the green t-shirt. I've been looking at all these men going, yeah. Because we know this how this work. Y'all getting tricked, man. These young dudes out here, man, if you don't understand that, and don't email the show talking about, Steve, you got money. Steve ain't always had money. I had nothing. I have never, ever in my life, from every date I've ever went on, and I done been on some dates, had a woman pay for nothing for me in my life. This was when I was good and poor. If I didn't have the money, I saved it so I could take her out.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, man. All right, we gotta take a break. We got more straight talk when we come back.
He's disgusted. He is disgusted. Listen, side note as well, I'm so happy that the line of Steve Harvey suits no longer creates the blazers as if they're dresses. Okay, that was a terrible moment in fashion history. I'm not all up on fashion like that, but I remember seeing those old school Steve Harvey suits. Like, are you serious? Or you see, it's like you're wearing a blazer that can also double as a parachute. Anyway, that has been your video. That has been your reaction. What's the original tenet of the video? I don't even remember at this point. Should men split dates? Listen, at the end of the day, I think the first one, perhaps 2 times, take her out, okay? Low impact, though. Low impact places as you're getting to know and understand, all right? Low impact. Going into the remainder, whatever it is, at some point, I'd be interested to know, well, not interested, but all of the time, Steve Harvey, that you've taken a woman out, you've paid every single time? Every single time? Every single time? While you were poor? It doesn't even make sense. It doesn't even make sense. You're gonna save up your money as a poor person to take a woman out every single time? You know, I don't think you even should. I think you should be focused on your purpose. I mean, at the same time, he obviously focused on the degree of his purpose because now he's famous. You know, so I mean, it is what it is. Listen, that has been your reaction yet again. Mediocre tutorials and reviews at gmail.com. Hit me up, hit me up, hit me up. Also, follow me on my Instagram at Mediocre Tutorials and Reviews. It's long, but you know how to spell. If you don't, link down in the description box down below. Go up there to not ask me random questions, to send me videos that you find all over IG. Would appreciate it wholeheartedly. Until next time, YouTube. Peace!